So Joseph Parker has announced that he has signed a promotional pact with Eddie Hearn and a broadcast deal with Dazn. This is a good move by Eddie Hearn because, as I mentioned in the previous video, his main rival in the UK, Frank Warren, has been signing up as many heavyweights as he can. He's got Tyson Fury. He's got a couple young heavyweights in Daniel Dubois and Nathan Gorman. He's also got Joe Joyce. So for Eddie Hearn to be signing Hrgovic, now Joseph Parker, and adding that to his already existing stable, which includes Michael Hunter, Alexander Usyk, Dylan White, Anthony Joshua, and even Derek Chisora, that's a good move. So Parker is signed with Eddie Hearn. He will retain the services of his now former promoter, David Higgins, who will now work for Parker in the capacity of a manager. He also retains his longtime trainer, Kevin Barry. Joseph Parker will make his DAZN debut on the undercard of Andrade versus Selecki, which will be taking place in Providence, Rhode Island. I forget the exact date of that. Maybe they've got it here in this article, do they? Let me see. I can't see it right now, but if you just look up on BoxRec the date for the Andrade Selecki fight, you'll find when Joseph Parker will be fighting. He'll be fighting on that undercard in the United States on DAZN, and the opponent is yet to be announced. Some people are speculating that it's Derek Chisora, but they didn't make it official at the press conference today. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Eddie Hearn talked about a lot of good matches that there are to be made with the contenders in the heavyweight division, between the contenders rather. So it isn't just a case of trying to get AJ to fight Wilder or AJ to fight Fury. There's also very good fights between contenders. And I absolutely agree. I think this is a fantastic era for heavyweight boxing. I think we are in a very deep division right now. And you're going to get these nostalgic people, these anoraks, these people who put their rose-tinted glasses on and talk about how it was so much better in the 90s and so much better in the 70s and what have you. Look, I know a golden era when I see it. I mean, you only have to look at the response from the fans, the interest in the heavyweight division right now to know that we're in a golden era. During the 70s, there were naysayers. There were people who said, these guys couldn't have competed against Jack Johnson. These guys couldn't have competed against Rocky Marciano. These guys couldn't have competed against Joe Louis. There was always naysayers in the 70s. In the 90s, I was around then, very much a fanatical boxing enthusiast. And trust me, there were loads of naysayers saying, heavyweight division's rubbish these days. It's nothing like it used to be. Particularly before Mike Tyson came out of prison in 1995, the journalists in the boxing magazines were just trashing the division. In the newspapers, they were trashing the division. And all the while, we were having great fights. The Holyfield-Bowe trilogy. Lennox Lewis was involved in some great scraps. And there were many memorable fights between different contenders. I see a lot of parallels between then and now. If you want to compare, Anthony Joshua wouldn't have lasted against George Foreman or Wilder wouldn't have lasted against Mike Tyson. Look, it's impossible to know how fighters of today's era would have done against fighters in eras gone by. That's impossible to know. That's all just opinion. But what we do know is that there's a massive interest in the heavyweight division right now. There are loads of great fights happening. I mean, from when Anthony Joshua fought Dylan White, we were having great fights from then in the heavyweight division. In fact, when was the Mike Perez Abdul Salamov fight? Because that was a great fight. Obviously, it's tragic what happened to Abdul Salamov in that fight, but it was a very good heavyweight scrap. And this is when we were coming out of the Klitschko era, or towards the end of the Klitschko era. We started having all these new faces in the heavyweight division, and the division got a hell of a lot deeper. There was a hell of a lot more talent, and there is a hell of a lot more talent now than there was during the majority of the Klitschko era. I mean, you look at the contenders in the Klitschko era, for the most part, it was poor. People like Calvin Brock, Sam Peter, Gomez, Kevin Johnson. I mean, these were the kind of contenders we were dealing with. People. Adamek, no disrespect to Adamek, he was good as a cruiserweight and light heavyweight, but it was a poor era for the most part. Towards the very end, well, Klitschko fought David Haye, who was, I guess, useful as a heavyweight, but he never proved himself against Tyson Fury or an AJ or anybody like that, did he? Who did David Haye beat as a heavyweight? I mean, Valiev. Valiev already lost to people like Chigaev, lost to Ruiz at least once in all reality, even lost, in my opinion, to a completely out of shape and over the hill Marcelo Dominguez. And even lost to Evander Holyfield, who was damn near 50 years old, unofficially, because most people felt like Holyfield won the fight. These are all the people that Valiev lost to before David Haye beat him. So Haye as a heavyweight contender, useful, dangerous, but he didn't prove himself against Tyson Fury. Let me just say that. So the era we've got right now is a golden era in heavyweight boxing, a golden age. It's amazing to have it roll, an era like this roll around once again. I think it's fantastic, and Joseph Parker is going to be part of that. Let me know in the comment section below which other contenders you'd like to see Joseph Parker in the ring with. Would you like to see him fight a Derek Chisora? Would you like to see him engage in a rematch with Dylan White? Would you like to see him fight, I don't know, Luis Ortiz and Andy Ruiz? Jarrell Miller, maybe. You never know what could happen in the future. Even the upcoming guys, the Daniel Dubois, the Joe Joyces, Kubrat Pulev. I mean, there are so many heavyweights out there these days that Joseph Parker could square off with. Tyson Fury, so many. So let me know what you guys think of Alexander Povetkin, Alexander God, I'm missing names here. Alexander Usyk. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Joseph Parker, in his two biggest fights against Dylan White and Anthony Joshua, particularly against Dylan White, he didn't really show the grit that you would want to see. He didn't show the killer instinct that you would want to see at the highest level. But in some cases, fighters can become battle hardened. They can learn on the job. Joseph Parker's still a very young man. I think he's only about, 28 or something like that? Still a very young man. And fighters can sometimes learn on the job and become battle hardened and learn to become more aggressive. So we'll see how it goes with Joseph Parker. At the end of the day, he is a talented heavyweight. He does have fast hands, nice movement and balance and what have you. So yeah, I'm interested to see what matchups he could be involved in, but I just hope he displays more of a killer instinct and, more meanness in the ring. We'll see. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. It's happening. I'm out. Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.